Uri Therinjikitte Tamil movie summary. Govindan, a petty thief, forms an alliance with Pandyan aka Rajan, and together they concoct a scheme. They round up a few mentally unstable homeless beggars, dress them in affluent attire, and lure them with biscuits. The beggars are then prepared for an auction, where Rajan masquerades as the heir of a wealthy Nawab, pretending to sell a priceless royal chair. However, Chinnasamy, the auctioneer, after giving the money discovers the ruse and begins to pursue Rajan and Govindan. Rajan narrowly escapes capture by blending into a political rally. The duo then infiltrates a marriage hall, figuring their identities as relatives. They befriend Manickam Ice Mama and gain access to the dining hall. Although Manikkam's brother-in-law uncovers their true identities, Rajan and Govindan manage to collect the wedding gift money from the relatives and escape once again. At 10 p.m. sharp, Rajan rushes back to the railway station, arousing Govindan's suspicion. Govindan follows Rajan, only to discover that he is, in fact, a porter at the railway station. Govindan confronts Rajan alias Pandyan about his concealed past. Pandyan opens up about his troubled past. His mother passed away due to illness when he was a young boy, leaving behind his toddler sister, Vidya, and his father had already abandoned them. Pandyan's relatives, too, deserted them, leaving the siblings orphaned in their village. Desperate to escape their dire circumstances, they boarded a lorry to Madras. Fearing exploitation, they sought refuge in a temple. From then on, Pandyan led a double life, working as a porter by day and committing petty crimes as Rajan by night. At present, the police launch a search for Pandyan and Govindan, while Pandyan's sister Vidya believes he is wealthy and requests him to buy a car. Pandyan, deeply in debt to lawyer Vardharajan, devises a trap to escape him, catching him in a compromising position with a woman and coerces the lawyer to write a letter, promising never to misbehave with any woman again. Just as Pandyan is about to rent a Datsun car, a wealthy businessman, Thannadurai purchases the vehicle, whom Vidya had mentioned earlier. Determined to acquire the car, Pandyan distracts Thannadurai's daughter Geetha and buys the car. With his new vehicle, Pandyan heads to meet Vidya at her college. Pandyan introduces Govindan to his sister Vidya as Selvamani. They encounter the principal, who is Ice Mama's brother-in-law, and Pandyan precariously evades without concealing his identity. Further, Pandyan discovers Vidya in love with Dr. Ramkumar, the son of Yerkoid Subramanian, a wealthy estate owner. En route back to Chennai, Pandyan witnesses an accident caused by Thannadurai, who damages a sacred tree. Pandyan and Govindan intervene to stop a fake priest from forcing Thannadurai's daughter, Geetha, to perform a humiliating ritual. Geetha is instantly drawn to Pandyan, alias Rajan. Thannadurai discovers that Geetha has fallen for Rajan after she scribbles Rajan's name all over the car using all-proof paint. Yerkoid Subramanian finalizes Vidya's engagement, while Pandyan negotiates the dowry. Thannadurai offers Pandyan his daughter Geetha's hand in marriage. Although Pandyan is hesitant, Govindan accepts the proposal on his behalf. Pandyan, now reformed, vows to abandon his life of theft, shading his alias Rajan. However, after marriage, Vidya discovers that her in-laws are materialistic and demand a diamond ring as a dowry. Pandyan is coerced into theft once again to settle the debt. At a marriage hall, Pandyan attempts to steal gift money but is caught by the police, witnessed by Thannadurai and Geetha. At the prison, Pandyan befriends Muthu, who reveals that Nayagam, a man on death row, is scheduled to be executed soon. Muthu recounts Nayagam's past, detailing how he took the blame for a car accident caused by his employer's daughter, Shanti. Muthu and Shanti embezzled the money meant for Nayagam's family, leading to their party and loss. Nayagam later rescues Shanti, who feigns reformation. Through his own efforts, Nayagam becomes wealthy, only to discover his wife's relapse into drug addiction. In a fit of rage, Nayagam kills Shanti and is subsequently imprisoned. On the day of Nayagam's execution, Pandyan emotionally reflects on his past. Pandyan is shocked upon the arrival of Ramkumar, Vidya's husband, as a new inmate and brutally assaults him. It is now revealed that Yerkoid Subramaniam is actually a pretender to wealth, who exploits boys by forcing them to marry rich girls, only to usurp the dowry. Subramaniam plots to attack Pandyan in prison, but Nayagam voluntarily takes Pandyan's place in the prison kitchen and fights off the attackers. As Nayagam faces his impending execution, his last wish is to meet Pandyan. Although Pandyan is asleep, Nayagam leaves a cryptic clue, an address, that ultimately reveals his shocking connection to Pandyan. He is his father. Pandyan, now released from prison, inherits his father's properties. Subramaniam attempts to blackmail Pandyan, demanding money in exchange for Ramkumar's release. However, Pandyan, aware of Subramaniam's true intentions, enlightens Vidya, explaining that Ramkumar was merely a pawn in Subramaniam's scheme. Lawyer Vardharajan, now a public prosecutor, driven by a personal vendetta on Pandyan, vows to imprison Ramkumar at any cost. As planned by Subramaniam, Padma and Lavanya appear in court, claiming to be Ramkumar's wives, but surprisingly, point towards Pandyan's two friends, who had promised to marry cheated women. Pandyan silences the lawyer by producing the letter of apology he had written earlier, which renders Vardharajan speechless. Ramkumar is subsequently released. Pandyan's friends reveal that they, along with Geetha and Thangadurai, have been protecting Vidya. They had informed Vidya that her brother Pandyan was in Singapore to conceal his true activities as a thief. Ultimately, the imposter Yerkoid Subramaniam is arrested. Pandyan and Geetha get married, and in a comedic final, Pandyan is seen making arrangements at the gift money section, only to discover that Govindan, alias Selvamni, collecting the gift money and escaping.